welcome back to another Daily Dose Diary. I'm so glad that you're here. We have a little Sophie with us. Come on. Ugh. She just decided to come and lay essentially on my lap before filming this. Hi, Soph. So I don't know how quiet she's going to be, but if you see any sniffing around or if you see an ear or two, that's Sophie. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that has been on my heart. I've been sitting with this thought kind of since the new year began. It just keeps coming back to me and it feels like something that I really want to talk about with you. You might be feeling it too. Off she goes. Here it is. I want you to take yourself seriously this year. Let me say it again. I want you to take yourself seriously this year. Not in a stiff, all work, no play. That's so funny as I said that. Sophie just jumped up with one of her toys. Not in a stiff, all work, no play kind of shenanigan, but in a way that feels sacred and aligned, empowered and real. Where you can finally say, I'm worth showing up for. And there's a million different ways this could look and feel, and all of them are valid, right? But just in case nobody has kind of said that to you, if you have not realized that yet, let this be your January reminder, or whenever you're watching this, that you are worth showing up for. You are worth taking seriously. Let me tell you a story about a girl who did not take herself seriously. Spoiler alert, that girl was me. And for me, that looked like keeping really quiet about interests and dreams, not stepping into them fully or kind of half-heartedly doing it. It looked like working really hard in a way that didn't nourish me at all. I believe work can be so nourishing. I love to work. And yet, if we're not doing it from the right sort of mental space or heart space, it can really make us unwell, to be honest. I wonder if you found yourself in that place before. I wonder where you are now in relation to all of that. So I had these big dreams, right? I wanted to start this business. I wanted to share my voice about what was inspiring me and interesting me. And I wanted to create something that felt like it mattered. But you know what I did instead? I played it small. I played it really small, you guys. Really, really small. 6 months before I launched this business properly, I was playing it so small. I'd started an Instagram account. I was barely showing up on it. I wouldn't share it on my own account because I felt embarrassed of it or something. I'd write down my goals in beautiful journals and then I'd leave them there. Hands up if you've done that as well. Hands up if you've got journals right now in your room in your house filled with really amazing dreams that, you know, the world could really do with experiencing, and they are sat in a drawer somewhere not doing anything. You know, I would brainstorm these ideas, I'd talk about it with friends, and then I would talk myself out of it before anybody else could. Who was going to talk me out of it? I'd tell myself things like, I'm not good enough for that. Why would I dream so big? Why do I think I deserve to dream that big? Quieten yourself down. And I kept waiting for the perfect time, and I kept waiting for the perfect time. I was waiting until I felt ready. I was essentially waiting for a sign that I was good enough. And guess what? That sign didn't really appear. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was surrounded by amazing people. I've got incredible friends and family who have encouraged me no end. But that perfect time, it doesn't exist. We sometimes feel like it does, but I think we have to make the perfect time or create it. There is not going to be a magic moment where you suddenly feel ready. There's just simply a choice to start before you are. The thing that finally changed everything for me, well, I stopped waiting for permission, and maybe you've heard other people talk about that as well. But I would ask if you've heard other people talking about that, why are you listening to this video? Why are the dreams still in the journal, in the drawer? Why haven't you done that yet? Why not? So I stopped waiting for the world to validate me. I stopped waiting for enough likes on Instagram or enough followers on TikTok. And I decided, what if I just acted like I matter? Like my dreams are worth taking seriously. And let me tell you something, girlie, that changed everything. here I am, cut to 2.5 years later, 2 years later, and I have worked with the most amazing, brilliant people, kind of from all over the world. I haven't worked with somebody from every country, of course, but I have had the absolute privilege and honour of sharing this dream with so many people. I'm sharing it with you right now. How cool is that? And I think there's this thing as well of, I really don't like to be perceived. I hate to be perceived by other people. I think all that is, I think that's bullshit. I think all that is that you're really afraid of being vulnerable. You're not very good at doing it. You're behaving in a way that isn't very brave, yeah? We are built for community and connection, and so actually showing up online, yes, it might be scary, but gosh, there's so much connection and beauty waiting for you on the other side of it, on the other side of being vulnerable, on the other side of people going, wow, she's really going for it. Yeah, I am. I'm really going for it. And hey, it's working. This is not something just for me. Yeah, this is for you as well. So let me ask you this, friend. What have you been putting off? What's the thing that you've been putting off? What's the dream that you keep tucking away because it feels too big or too scary or too much? Maybe it's writing the book. Maybe it's leaving that job that's draining you. Maybe it's finally saying, no, I can't keep doing this, and setting those boundaries. And I think there's also this rhetoric that you kind of, if you're taking yourself seriously, if you're doing the dream, that you have to have every single thing figured out. And that, again, is just nonsense, isn't it? What a ridiculous thing to think and say. And yet we all feel it, right? You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to know every single step of the plan. The plan is going to change and grow and breathe and move with you. There's no way to know all the steps right now. And so, yeah, that does sound a bit messy. And if you're sat here thinking, well, that sounds really messy and too tricky and I don't really want to, get my feet wet. Hey, taking yourself seriously is messy. There's going to be a lot of back and forth, yeah? I didn't decide to launch the business in full 2 years ago and then it's been plain sailing ever since. Of course not. What absolute bullshit that would be. And if you hear that, really, I would, consider the source, okay? I query that. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's real. I don't think it's as beautiful. Taking yourself seriously is going to be messy. There is going to be a lot of back and forth. That is where the growth happens. You are not simply a light switch that you can flick on to say, yes, I'm confident and I have clarity and I'm moving ahead. There is going to be a little bit of a dance. There's going to be some movement between where you are right now and where you want to be. And that is glorious. It is messy believing when the doubt starts to creep in. But that's how we know the dreams are worth committing to, when you can find that sixth gear and keep going. Especially, even if no one understands them yet. Here's how I want you to start, okay? It's gentle. Grab a journal, maybe the journal that you have all these dreams in. I want you to name it. Write down the thing that you've been dreaming of, even if you've been too scared to say it out loud. Don't overthink it, just write it down right now. Do it. I'm not even gonna cut this out. Write it down. Good. Claim it. I'd like you to claim it. That's yours. That's your dream that you just wrote down. Say it to yourself in the mirror. Whisper it to yourself when you think no one is around. Try and see if you can say it to a trusted friend. Speak it into existence, because your words have power. Think how powerful they've been in keeping you so small. Think how powerful they'll be when you start stepping into your power. And then I want you to do one small thing by the end of the week, yeah? You do need to take one small, brave step, because you can. I'm not going to tell you what that step is. That's for you to work out. But if you're feeling super brave, you could drop it in the comments. Tell me what you're doing. That is so brave. Let me cheer you on. Let us all cheer you on, okay? That community and connection I was talking about at the beginning, that starts with being a part of a community and connecting with people. How can I cheer you on today? I can't wait. So whether it's writing the first sentence in that book, emailing somebody that you've been really nervous to reach out to, maybe just simply deciding, I am going to do this. When you take yourself seriously, something magical happens. It's happening right now in this video with you, me, and that journal of yours, okay? Other people start to take you seriously too. Opportunities are going to find you. Doors are going to open. It all starts with you deciding that you're worth showing up for. And we're not talking about being perfect. We're not talking about showing up perfectly. You're going to make 1,000 mistakes. So am I. It's called being a human. We get to. But it's about choosing to believe in yourself, even when it's scary. And it's about showing up again and again and again and again. Before I did this, I was a dancer. I was a contemporary dancer. I danced for years. I took myself very seriously with that. And other people did as well. I had a brilliant time dancing. And unfortunately, I had to stop because I became very unwell in my late teens and early 20s. But the repetition that I built in those rooms, in that space, in rehearsals, has taught me that you just get up and you try again and again and again and again and again until you hit the pirouette. Let me impart some of that into you now if you haven't done that. Maybe you have done something where you've had to try again and again and again. Let's use that. Let's infuse this dream with that knowledge, with that wisdom. Yeah? Even when you stumble, get back up. You can do this. Let me remind you. You can do this. So if you've made it this far, as we come into land today, let this be the sign for you to stop dimming your light. Let this be the year that you start standing in your power. And when we talk about that idea that the world needs what only you can bring, it's not some like annoying spiel that we see on a tea towel. It is actually true. I can't do what you can do. Nobody else can. You need to stand up and do it, okay? It's probably what you're here to do. Your voice, your vision, your way of seeing things, your magic. We need it. Will you share it with us? Now, go and tell me in the comments what you're going to do this year to take yourself seriously, what you're going to do this week to take yourself seriously. Let me cheer you on and come back to this video as many times as you need to, okay? What's the dream, the goal, the idea that you're finally ready to say yes to? It's time to step in to your magic.